If my turbocharger was broken, what should I do? Hi everyone, I'm Candy from HJL Autoparts. Do you know your car is equipped with the turbocharger for a better power and more efficient fuel consumption? Did you ever look in your car mirror and see the excessive exhaust smoke? Today, I'm going to break down the problems and replacement cost for our vehicles. I will also tell you the common symptoms to remind you of the failing turbo. All manufacturers sell their new cars with turbocharged model now. It means they can use the smaller engine but still produce the same power output, and your car also has higher performance. Nowadays, turbo is a common system used by car manufacturers to boost engine power, maintain low engine liters, and also lower the fuel tax. Turbos are widely used to release the same level of power in smaller cars that's usually found in larger cars. Engine mixture the fuel and the air to produce power to drive the wheels, so the car can move, and the function of turbo is that run at incredible high speeds to add more air into the mixture by using the exhaust to spin an air pump. Then the air pump push the extra air, which turbo exhausts into the engine's air cylinder, so the engine can burn more fuel and produce more power than a natural aspirated engine. This is probably the answer you all want to know the most. As we say, turbo's life cycle is around 100,000 to 150,000 miles. Depends on how you drive and how is your turbo quality. The cost for a Volkswagen Passat turbocharger assembly replacement is between $1,900 to $2,000. Labor costs are estimated between $500 to $600, while the parts are priced at $1,400. This range is based on the number and age of Volkswagen Passats on the road. The price is higher than the turbo of Audi A4 engine replacement cost. The cost of Audi A4 turbocharger is cheaper than Audi A6 turbo replacement cost. Assembly replacement is between $1,500 to $3,000, in which the labor cost is around $350 to $450, while the turbocharger is priced between $1,100 to $2,500. Both Audi turbo replacement costs and Volkswagen turbo replacement costs are expensive, so keep your vehicle in good condition by following a regular vehicle maintenance schedule to avoid expensive repairs. Next, let's see what causes turbo failure. Turbo failure is normally the result with engine lubrication problem or damage from the external substance. Basically, the turbochargers are pretty reliable now. In fact, less than 1% of warranty inspection finds the faulty with the turbo itself. Now, let's see the reason number 1. Lack of oil and lubrication causes serious gear wearing. It's important that the engine oil and engine filter are both replaced at the manufacturer's recommended intervals. Turbo needs a good flow of clean oil to keep it working properly. Oil works to lubricate key moving parts, protect them from corrosion, and keep them cool while in use. A lack of oil or oil starvation, incorrect grade of oil, or poor quality oil will lead your turbo suffers from a buildup of the carbon deposit and contaminate. That reduce its effectiveness and even cause it to completely break down over time. It can cause a bad damage inside the turbo. Number 2. External substance cause a big damage. A turbocharger is virtually made of two fundamental components, the compressor at the front and the turbine at the back. If the external substance enters the compressor housing, like dead bug or dust, it often comes from the air filter. In contrast, if the external substance causes damage to the turbine, the substance usually comes from the engine itself. Sometimes, external substance such as dust particles, dirt, leaves, and small stones can enter the turbo, either via the compressor inlet or turbine inlet, and the efficiency of the turbo will be reduced if the foreign objects start to damage the compressor wheels or turbine blades. These particles can cause severe damage to the wheels and blades in the turbo. To prevent this happening, check your air filter is serviced and replaced regularly. Also, check your turbo for debris at the same time. Number 3. Aging can cause many problems. A turbo's life cycle is around 100,000 miles to 150,000 miles. It's possible for them to wear out over time, depending on how hard you drive the car. Although the turbo is stable, but it will not last forever. You will need to replace eventually. So once again, remember to have the regular maintenance for your turbo. Reason number 4. Don't be a crazy driver and overspeeding all the time. Continually pushing at top levels of your engine's performance will force gas through the seals and pipes. As the turbocharger is constantly under pressure, there are many things that can impact its performance. Over time, this pressure can cause leaks and cracks, making the turbo work harder and increasing the levels of fatigue. Next, very important thing is to know how to determine if your vehicle is having trouble with turbocharger. So, let's see the common signs of a failed turbo. Number 1. Exhaust smoke. This could be caused by a crack in the turbo housing or damaged internal seals. The worn seals and cracks in the turbo will allow the oil leak get into the exhaust tip, which will burn with a very distinct grayish blue smoke. You will see these dirty fumes increase as the engine starts after idling. This symptom becomes even more extraordinary when you are driving at high speed and boost the turbo. So if you notice this smoke from your parking mirror, then you may get the idea that the turbo could be the main reason. Number 2. Whining engine. Another advantage of turbocharger is that it actually makes the engine quieter than the natural aspirate engine because it covers the noise of the air intake. So if you start to hear a loud whining noise that came from your turbo, a bit like a dentist drill or police siren, your turbocharger probably broken. As the faulty gets more serious, the noise will get worse. You should get a professional mechanic to have a look at your car. Signs number 3. Engine light on. Modern cars are able to pick up turbo faults, and the check engine light will appear on the dashboard to remind the driver. However, there are several reasons why this light occurs on your dashboard. It could be down to the problem with your sensors or even a loose petrol cap, but sometimes it may represent a serious problem with your turbo. Consider of a driving safety. Get to the repair shop to check out soon. You will need a professional mechanic to perform further checks to find out the exact issues of the engine problem. Number 4. Burning oil or oil leaking. As we mentioned before, Turbo works at high temperature, so if there is any deposit or oil leaking in the pipe, it will cause the oil burning. When this happens, you should disconnect the downpipe at the front of the turbo and take a look inside to check if there is any oil deposit. Oil leaking is a big issue for turbocharger. You need to get the repair shop for turbo service. If you don't care about the issue and leave unchecked, the entire system would probably fail. Number 5. Power loss. Turbocharger is used to make your car faster and more dynamic. Usually, you will become very aware of its performance and capability. So, if you notice that your car isn't accelerating as powerful as it should be, hard to maintain high speed, difficult to reach speed, or is slow to react to your throttle, this might be a sign that your turbo is failing. If you notice any of these symptoms, checking the turbo should be your first option. Just like me, whenever I feel something funny is with my car, the first question pops in my mind is, can I keep driving the car now? Same here. Many people would have the problems with their turbochargers, always have the question, can I drive with the broken turbo? Believe it or not, you still can drive on without the turbo, but it is probably safer to call a recovery lift. If you decide to drive with a broken turbo, you should unhook the linkage from the wastegate activator first, and then use a wire to hold it open as you drive the necessary distance to get to the mechanics. Go easy on the throttle as the wastegate won't be able to handle the full pressure of the exhaust. Don't go more than around 100 miles. The longer you leave it untreated, the worse and more expensive the problem will become. So you should still get your trouble checked as soon as possible by a qualified technician. Alright my friends, I hope you enjoyed today's video and leave comments below if you have any questions about the turbochargers. If you have the experience about the turbocharger fixing, share with us. We are very happy can hear from you. As always, I appreciate of you watching and I wish you all the best with everything, and I will see you very soon next week. Adios!